Good day everyone and welcome back to the channel. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with gable roof, but what if I told you could actually add a classical touch to the gable roof? So in today's video, I'm going to start from scratch to finish and show you guys how to create a gable classical roof, or rather a classical gable roof. So without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the video. So of course we have our empty Revit project. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to levels. So we're going to go to an elevation view and set the levels. As usual, we're just going to set our DPC. Let's use 450 and set this. Then we're going to rename these levels appropriately. Then let's name this one as, give it numbers, NGL level 2 and click yes. We're going to change this to DPC. Then we're going to go and add new levels now. So we're going to go to this architecture tab. We're going to go to levels. Then we're going to start placing new levels. Let's just place this first one at 3 meters and leave it at level 2. Let's just name it and change the number to 03. 03. Let's name it roof level. Then we are going to click yes. We want to change the name of the one. We are going to go to architecture, add one more level. Then we're going to change this to add at 1.2. Let's use 900 and just place this. Then we're going to rename this as upper roof level. Alright, so now we've set the levels. We are going to go to the plan and start drawing our wall. So we're going to go to this first level, that is the natural ground level, and we're going to click on this wall tab over here. Then we're just going to select the desired wall we want. Then let's just use this one. Then we're going to go to this properties panel over here. Then we're going to click on this top constraint and set it at roof level. Then we're just going to click on this box tool to actually draw a space. Then we're just going to draw this. Okay, so now we are going to use the wall tool once again. So we're going to go to this wall tool. Instead of using this box, we're just going to use this single line tool to actually draw another wall profile. But before we do that, we're going to change this top constraint and we're going to change it to upper roof level. Then we're just going to draw the wall and set it here. Okay, we can actually adjust it and just click on it. Then these dimensions will come out. Then we can just edit this and change this to 2.4. That is 2400 millimeters. All right, so I think this, okay, we could actually just go and use some dimensions. So we are just going to edit this dimension. Let's change this to 2400 and let's also change this to 2400. So we are going to achieve this balance box. Okay, so now we are going to go to this 3D panel. So now we have our panel with our walls. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to architecture. I'm going to go to components. I'm going to click on this drop down icon. Then I'm going to go to model in place. Then I'm going to go to casework. Then I'm going to click OK and leave it at casework 1. Click OK. So now I'm going to click on this sweep tool and I'm going to click on sketch path. So before I start doing anything, I'm going to click on this set to set the work plane. Now I'm going to click on this drop down icon to change the work plane from this natural ground level to this roof level. Then I'm just going to click OK. So now I'm going to use this 3D toggle to click on the top view. Then I'm going to start drawing the path. Okay, this is good. So now we've drawn the part. I'm just going to click on this good tick, then I'm going to click good. Then I'm just going to rotate this to this right side. Then I'm going to go to this edit profile tab here to actually draw our profile. Now I'm just going to draw a jittered profile to kind of represent the classical order. So I'm going to start going 225. Then I'm just going to bevel this with this tool over here. Alright, so now we've created this profile. We're just going to select everything and we're going to click on this copy to clipboard. You are going to see the reason why we need it. Then I'm going to assign a material to this profile before I finish it. So I'm just going to click on this material tab over here. Then I'm going to look for the material I intend on giving it. Okay, so now we've created this. We're just going to click finish and we're going to click finish model. Okay, so now we've created this profile or this concrete fascia. We're now going to create our first layer of roof. So we're going to go to this top view. You can go to plans if you want, but I just prefer working from 3D. Then I'm going to go to this architecture tab and I'm going to click on roof. Under this roof, they are going to give us the option to select the level we want to place the roof on. So I'm just going to click on this and click on this roof level. Then I'm going to select the roof material I want. Then I've already created the roofing sheet in my template, so you could also do the same, or you could check out my roof video on how to work with roofs. So I'm just going to draw a box profile to fill up here. Then I'm going to change this slope to 45 degrees. Then I'm going to click finish. So as you can see, we actually have an issue. This roof is actually falling out or intersecting with this concrete fascia. And the reason why is that this concrete fascia actually protruded from the actual roof level. So we are just going to adjust this. To do that, we'll simply click on the roof, use this move tool, and we're just going to select this plane here or this line here and just drag it up on the same axis and place it appropriately. Okay, so now we've created the regular roof. Now we are going to start creating our gable roof. So as usual, we're going to go to components, we're going to go to model in place, then we're going to go to casework. Then after going to casework, we're going to go to sweep and we're going to go to sketch part. But instead, we're going to go and set the plane. Instead of the natural ground level, we're now going to set this upper roof level. Then I'm going to click OK. Okay, so now I'm just going to turn it to the top. Now I want to draw the part where the sweep will actually go. So I'm just going to draw a part. I'm going to draw a line over here to about 1.8. Then I'm going to draw a line to this point and stop. Then I'm going to click finish. Okay, so now if you remember, you actually copied a profile to clipboard. So now is the time I need it back. So I'm going to just paste it. I'm going to do paste from clipboard and I'm going to paste it now. Okay, we're actually having an issue, but there's no problem. We could actually redraw the profile. We're going to click on OK. We're going to click on this select and edit profile. We actually forgot to edit this profile. So I'm now going to paste this thing we actually copied to the clipboard. Then I'm going to click paste from clipboard. Then I'm just going to paste it. So now, because of the orientation change, it's actually warped. So we could easily rectify that by using this, selecting all the lines, clicking on this rotate tool, and we're just going to rotate it by 90 degrees. So now it's almost set in place. We're just going to click, select it, and we're going to select this point, and we're going to place it where it actually was, according to like the way we did the former one. Then I'm going to click finish and click finish. And our material is set and I'm going to click finish. So now what we want to do is we want to mirror this profile to this other side. So to do that, we're just going to go to this top view. We're going to click on it. We're going to go to this panel over here, then the modify panel. Then we're going to click on this mirror and we're going to draw the axis. We're going to kind of hover around and get the center point and just click on it and just mirror it. So now we have this. You are wondering what the hell have I just created now, but you are going to see what I'm going to work on now. So we are going to go to architecture again. We are going to go to roof and we're going to draw another roof profile, but let's set the levels first. So we're going to click and select upper roof. Then we're going to click yes. All right, so now we're going to down draw another box profile. So we could always go closer and adjust it to this point just to align it. So unlike this first roof, we are going to select these two lines and we're going to hover around here and look for this define slope and uncheck it. Then we're going to click finish. So as you can see, we are having a similar problem to what we did before. It's the roof intersecting the concrete fascia. Then we're just going to click this move tool. We're going to select the end and we're just going to adjust it. Okay, we could actually increase the slope to kind of match the triangle a bit. Let's change the slope to 40 degrees. okay, which I think is just almost there, which is all right. So now we are going to hover here, we are going to rotate the 3D. Then we're going to go to this wall here, and we're going to click on the wall. We're going to go hover around here to this attach to top base. Then we're going to click on it and attach this wall to this roof here. Click on it again, attach to top base, and select this roof. Okay, as you can see, we have an issue. This roof is actually out of place here, so we could just click on it, edit the footprint, and just drag this line inside, and we're just going to click finish. So now we are going to do some modeling work now. Okay, so we're going to go to components, we're going to go to model in place, and we're going to go to casework and click OK, casework 4. So now we're going to start using some extrusions, some series of extrusions. We're going to click extrusion, we're going to set. Remember that the protrusion of this concrete fascia was 600 millimeters. So we're going to start creating extrusions that thick. So we're going to click pick a plane. Now we've selected the extrusion tool. We're going to select this plane. Then we're going to draw our first profile. So I'm just going to draw it. I'm going to just draw a line going moving upwards. I'm going to draw this like this, and a line moving upwards. Then I'm going to use this offset tools and offset it by 150 millimeters. And do the same. Then I'm going to use this trim tool to actually trim it together. Okay, so now we are going to edit the thickness of this extrusion by editing this extrusion end, and we're going to change it to 600 millimeters. Then we're going to select the material we intend on it. Then we're going to click finish. Okay, so now this is done. We're going to just select it. We're going to use copy tool and copy it out. Then we're going to edit this second profile, edit extrusion. Then we're going to delete this first. We're now going to start sketching again. Instead, we are going to use this select tool to actually pick lines, and we're just going to pick these lines here. We are going to select the line, use the normal line tool, go 150 from here, or rather just go any number for now. Then we're going to use this offset tool and actually offset this, offset this, offset this, offset this. So we actually want, okay, I think we'll actually need to adjust something a bit. We're going to select these two lines and we're going to drag it down to this point over here, because of we want this profile to flow with this second section of this concrete fascia. So we're just going to trim this. Once we've dragged it down, we're going to trim this and trim this. So now we actually want to determine the height or the depth of this extrusion profile. So to do that, we are just going to simply estimate the depth of this plane we want it to flow with. So I'm just going to draw a line here and use this line as a reference to get this distance. This is 375 millimeters. So I'm just going to delete this line back, and I'm going to input this digit 375 and click OK. So as you can see, if you rotate it, you see it's actually beginning to flow with this plane now. So we are going to go back to this approach. As usual, we are going to copy it again, and we're going to use the copy tool and just copy it out randomly. So we'll not need to start creating a new extrusion. It's just something I do to be quicker. So I'm just going to click edit extrusion. Then I'm going to select this hole and I'm going to delete it. Now I'm going to use the same pick profile and I'm going to pick this. And this time I'm going to now extend it to this last plane. Then I'm going to use the offset tool again to offset it. Then I'm going to trim this. Okay, I mistakenly offsetted it again, so it's giving me an issue. But let me offset it. Thank God I've used the undo tool. So I'm just going to trim this, trim this, trim this. As usual, we're going to determine the depth which it will be at, and we're going to just use a line as a reference. So this is 350. So we're going to input 350 there. And click OK. So as you can see, this is actually looking good. It's actually flowing, but I actually have an issue, and I'm going to show you how we'll solve it. So I'm just going to click on finish. So now the issue is that I'm actually seeing these lines over here, even though they're on the same plane, but I'm seeing these lines and it's not actually looking good. So I'm just going to go to this line tool over here. Then I'm going to click on this drop down icon and I'm going to look for invisible lines. Then I'm just going to select the line I want to make invisible. And select this one as well. We're going to select this one, select this one, select this one, select this one, select this one. Okay, as you can see, this is actually looking good and we have actually reached a far point. We're also going to use this invisible line more to actually select it. So now we're just going to place a window here just to add more touch to this. So we're going to go to this DPC and we're just going to go to architecture, go under this window tab, not components, architecture, window tab, and place an act window here. So we can just edit some parameters quickly on the window. We're going to change the window width to 1.2. I'm going to change the window height to 1.5. Then I'm going to click apply and I'm going to click OK. Then I'm just going to place this window at the center point. Okay, so we could just do some more extrusion work to actually give this a more grandiose look. So we're going to go to component, model in place again, casework. Okay, and click OK. Now we're going to click on sweep and this time we're going to click on sketch path. Then instead of setting our sketch path as a level, we could actually select and actually pick a plane and we're going to click OK, then pick this plane. So now I'm going to use this and pick the parts around this window to actually draw a profile. Then I'm just going to bevel it together, click on finish, then actually rotate it underneath so I can actually start drawing the profile, and I'm just going to draw a quick profile. And we're just going to click on finish. Okay, this is looking good so far. So now we're going to add a keystone to this point. Now we're going to go to create, we're going to go to extrusion, and we're going to just draw a keystone. So because of this arc, for the sake of this arc, we're going to just be using another approach in drawing our lines. So I'm just going to extend this line to 300 first. Then I'm going to pick here. I'm going to pick this line here, use this pick line to pick this line. Then I'm going to start projecting lines at an angle. Let's use this point as our focal point. Then I'm going to project this at, let's say, this angle, and I'm just going to click on it and I'm going to use this mirror tool and pickaxe this and just mirror it over here. So now I'm now going to offset this line by 300 to actually match the length we intended. So I'm just going to offset it. So I'm just going to now trim these 4 lines. Then delete the center one. Okay, so now you can actually set the depth, and I'm going to set the depth at let's use 150, and I'm going to click OK. So this is good, but it's still looking too plain. So I'm going to go to create again. I'm going to go to void forms. I'm going to go to void extrusion. Then I'm going to click on set. Instead of setting the wall, I'm going to click on pick plane again, and I'm going to pick the surface of this keystone here. Then I'm just going to use this select line tools to actually select the perimeters. Then I'm going to use the offset tools and offset it by 50. So I'm just going to hold tab to actually offset multiple at once. So since it's not working, let's just use the regular means. Then I'm just going to trim it. Then I'm going to tab again to delete these lines. Now I'm going to set the void extrusion depth at 75, so it will be kind of balanced, and click on finish. Okay, 75 is too much because it's actually showing this underneath profile. So let's reduce the depth to, let's use 35. And it's looking wonderful. So now we're going to create another profile again. We're going to create extrusion. We're going to go to create, we're going to use extrusion. So we're just going to place some wall reveals here. I will have used the normal wall reveal tool, but I wanted to create something more classical. Okay, so we're going to start by projecting our lines again, our arc lines from, let's use this as a focal point. So let's just draw a line here, then use this as a focal point. Then we're going to draw one line first. We're going to draw another line first at, let's use at intervals of, let's go to annotate and check the angles. Let's use at interval of 15 degrees, which I think is okay. Then we're just going to click on this. We're going to use this as and start mirroring them. Click on this, use the mirror to pick axis and mirrors. Click on this, use the mirror tool, pickaxe it and it mirrors. Click on this again, use the mirror tool, pickaxe this and it mirrors. Click on this again. Okay, since this already, we could just use this trim tool and actually click here and just form here together. So now we're now going to select another line, and we're going to select this part. We're going to select this as well, and select this, and we're just going to do some basic trim. Okay, so now we're just going to do some offset. We're going to click on offset, and we're going to click on 25mm offset. So we're just going to offset this. Ctrl Z again, just so I'll be sure. Start offsetting these lines. Offset this, offset this, offset. Ctrl Z, overdid it here, offset. So now we're going to delete this line, and we're going to start doing some trimming. Firstly, we're going to delete these center lines because we don't need them anymore. Delete the center lines, delete these ones, then delete this one as well. So we're just going to use this split element to actually start splitting these lines. Then we're going to trim it together. Then we're also going to use this trim tool for this part here, and select in between the lines, select in between the lines, and we're just going to trim it. Then we're going to trim this as well. Okay, so now we've gone to this point. We're just going to extend this and create, let's say, delete this line, and we're just going to use this to create a square. Let's make it 500mm deep, and we're just going to bevel it as well. So now we're just going to select this set of lines, and we're just going to click on this copy tool. We're going to click on multiple and just be placing it at intervals. All right, so now we're going to select all these lines here. Select these lines as well, make sure you select everything. Then we're just going to click on this mirror and select parts. Then we're just going to mirror it here. Then we're going to delete this center line, and we're going to join these two boxes. You could just delete this line, delete this line, delete this line, delete this line, then use this trim tool to actually fuse them together. And I think we're good. Then we're going to select the depth and change the depth to 50 or 35mm. Then we're going to select the material, and I'm just going to use this regular material and click finish. So as you can see, this is actually odd because we forgot to set the plane. So we're going to click on this, we're going to click on edit work plane, and we're going to click on pick parts because it was actually set on this keystone. So we're going to select the wall now. We're going to hover around till it highlights the wall. Then we are going to now select it, and we're going to click finish model, and we can save the project, of course. Okay, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is how to create your classical gable. So if this video was helpful, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. That is the only way you can show us support for now, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I release new videos. Have a nice day, and I wish you the best till the next video.